Hello everyone, my name is Lynn Griffiths and I am the author or the poetess of the poem The Dinosaur. So for those of you who are not familiar with the poem The Dinosaur, it's a Scottish poem and I'm going to share it with you just now.
I want to be a dinosaur and roam around the toon. I want to be a muckle beast and gobble you right doon. I'd have to be a long neck with big teeth that can chew to eat up all these Scots bairns, 'cause they taste like iron brew.
So I hope you enjoyed that. Now I know that many of you will be learning this poem as part of your Scottish topic at school. Now, I received a letter from a teacher at a school called Monkton Primary School. Now, I'm a little bit concerned about this teacher's spelling. However, I'm going to read it to you. Dear L. Griffiths, who wrote the Dinosaur poem. My name is Mrs. Hamilton, and I am a teacher. My boys and girls were hoping you would, another spelling mistake, would answer a few questions they have for you, if you aren't too busy. Love for their teacher, Mrs. Hamilton. Well, Mrs. Hamilton, I'm not too busy because, as we all know, we're in a bit of a lockdown situation. So I would love to answer the questions from your boys and girls. I've got someone to introduce you all to just now. I have with me today my own little dinosaur. Just going to bring it into view. So this is my own pet dinosaur. Well, she's not really, but I'm not going to tell you exactly what she is because I hope that you can maybe have a little think about what this curious creature is. Isn't she beautiful? Yes, you are. You're very beautiful. But for now, Slate, because that's her name, we have to answer some questions from all the boys and girls at Monkton Primary School. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So I'm going to put you back down onto your little blanket and I'm going to answer some questions. Okay, so boys and girls, you can say goodbye to Slate just now. So my first question is from Ollie, and Ollie asks, why is the poem so funny? Well, Ollie, I think it's so funny because it's unexpected to hear what a dinosaur wants to eat, and it's unexpected to imagine that a dinosaur might speak in a Scottish accent. So I am really happy that you found the poem funny because I'd hoped when I was writing it that people would like it. Fraser asks, why do you like writing poems? Well, Fraser, I really like writing poems because they entertain people and it shows a really interesting way to use our lovely language, particularly Scottish language. And I like to hear sounds that rhyme. And I like the way that the sounds are in my mouth and that I can entertain and make things sound very interesting through poems. And the good thing about poems is that you don't have to be quite so careful about your punctuation and forming sentences. Poetry can be easier to write somehow. Melody, what a beautiful name. Well, Melody, I do live in Scotland. I have lived in Scotland most of my life. I did live in another country for a little while, a nice hot country called Portugal. And but I live in Scotland with lots of animals, and yes, it's a lovely country, a wonderful place to be, except when it rains so much. But yes, Melody, I do live in Scotland. Millie asks, why does the dinosaur like to eat children and not adults? Well, Millie, everybody knows that adults are tough and stringy. Well, maybe not everybody knows, but dinosaurs certainly know that. And children are much tastier and tender to eat. Holly, what is the name of the dinosaur? Well, that's an interesting question, Holly. And I wonder if the boys and girls at Monkton Primary School with their teacher, Mrs. Hamilton, could perhaps come up with a name for the dinosaur. I do have a name in the back of my head, but it's not it could be something that you could help me decide absolutely on. Sunny, how does the dinosaur know whether the children are Scottish or not? Well, Sunny, I don't know if you know this or not, but when dinosaurs use their very, very good sniffing powers through their huge big nostrils, they can smell a smell that's quite like haggis. And then the dinosaurs know that they're Scottish. So Neve and Orla. Are you hearing my dinosaur in the background now, boys and girls? Neve and Orla are asking, why does the dinosaur think that children taste like iron brew? Well, I've never eaten a child, boys and girls. So I imagine that if we were to taste each other, then maybe we would taste like iron brew. I'm not suggesting that we do that for a moment, but we'll just leave it to the dinosaurs to decide, shall we? So Joseph asks, why is the poem written in the Scots language? Well, the Scots language is a wonderful language with really expressive words. And I think it's important that we keep the Scots language alive and that we use it as much as possible. And to write a poem in Scots makes it very, very special. I think if we were to say the dinosaur without using Scottish words, without using our Scottish language, I don't think it would be nearly as exciting and as funny. So I think it's important to keep our Scots language alive. So Kai and Liam, why does the dinosaur have a long neck? Well, I think that if you are doing any research on dinosaurs, which would possibly be a good thing to do, you could maybe find some dinosaurs that do have a long neck. And of course, I'm sure Mrs. Hamilton has explained to you that long neck really means long neck. Mrs. Ramsey is asking what my favourite poem is. Well, I have quite a lot of favourite poems, and one of them is a poem called Lucy Gray by William Wordsworth, who that was a long, long time ago that poem was written, Mrs. Ramsey. However, I thought I would share with you one of my favourite Scots songs to entertain you all at this time of year. So I hope you enjoy this one. It's by a man called Matt McGinn. And unfortunately, there's not a video that goes along with it, but you can hear it through this YouTube link.
We unto her yo-yo to school she did go, though she shouldn't hae ta'en it at all. It fell frae her horn, and it rolled on the grun, and it went through a hole in the wall. Did you find a red yo-yo, red yo-yo, red yo-yo? Did you find a red yo-yo with a wee yellow string? The daring young Annie, she went to the Johnny, a decent wee man as a rule. It's pleasing to tell that he rang on his bell, and he asked every one in the school. Did you find a red yo-yo, red yo-yo, red yo-yo? Did you find a red yo-yo with a wee yellow string? The wains left their pencils and papers and stencils to knock on the doors all around. And as they were rapping and ringing and chapping, they asked all the folk of the town. Did you find a red yo-yo, red yo-yo, red yo-yo? Did you find a red yo-yo with a wee yellow string? The police soon learned, and they were concerned. They left all their murders aside. The whole of the force was alerted, of course, and they went on the telly and cried. Did you find a red yo-yo, red yo-yo, red yo-yo? Did you find a red yo-yo with a wee yellow string? All over the country, the common and gentry were watching their big TV screen. Things really got gone, son, when President Johnson received an appeal for the Queen. Did you find a red yo-yo? The wires were trembling when he phoned the Kremlin to ask about Annie's yo-yo. But 'cause Egan agreed with the greatest of speed, Ziofonio or Chen Strativi Chen, whatever it means. In Peking and Paris and or in the bars, the people they searched high and low, till finally Annie announced that her granny had bought her another yo-yo. And it was a red yo-yo, red yo-yo, red yo-yo. It was a red yo-yo with a wee yellow string.
So I hope you enjoyed that, boys and girls. It's one of my favourite Scottish songs, and I particularly like the part where the Queen speaks in her very, very posh voice, and I imagine her wearing her crown, asking about the red yo-yo. So that is all the time I've got left to have a wee blether with you today, and thank you for all of your questions. Of course, we know who really needs to be doing our homework, and that's Mrs. Hamilton. I'm a little bit concerned, boys and girls, about all of her bad spelling mistakes that she had in that letter. So I think you should be asking Mrs. Hamilton to be doing more spelling tests and not giving them to you to do. So now I've brought Slate back in, and she'll probably be very noisy. There she is, to say bye-bye to the boys and girls. You saying bye-bye? There she is. There she is. And it's time she was going back outside to her other friends. Yes, that's what I think too, Slate. You going to go back outside? Say bye-bye to the boys and girls? Bye-bye from now, everyone at Monkton Primary School, and thank you for all your lovely questions.